the form of Bhagavad Gita.
Кришна дал себя в форме Бхагавад-гиты,
Give or share with rest of the world.
и как раз этим мы делимся со всем остальным миром.
Came back again as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
И Шри Кришна снова пришел.
Again, he was
Шри Кришна Чайтанья
giving
Махапрабху,
himself
давая себя
of
самому
the holy name.
в форме святого имени.
And he was sending his parties, even his Sankirtan leaders were Nityananda Prabhu, not different from Balaram or Balram himself.
И его лидеры
His
Санкиртаны, такие
preachers
как
were
Нитянанда Прабху, он не отличен от самого Балрама, или Намачарья Шилахридас Такур, который был самим Брамой. Это только несколько имен. Была целая армия Санкиртана. И его наставление было Шуна 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 Харидас. Идите в каждый дом. И передавайте это послание. Бола Кришна. Баджо Кришна. Гора Кришна Шикша. И это Шикша, это Бхагавад-гита. Делитесь этой Шикшей. Кришна упадешь с каждым. То же самое он сказал Браману Курву. Хотел отказаться от своей дхармы. Господь Чайтанья сказал, оставайся. Кришна упадешь. Кем бы ты ни встретил, Кришна упадешь, Бхагавад-гиту. Шри Кришна Чайтанья Махапрабху тоже стал известен тем, что он раздавал. Вот почему свои почтительные поклоны, которые есть в Махапрабху был известен своим добродушием. Он раздавал. Наша парампара известна своим великолепием. Да. И в этой цепочке которая исходит от самого Кришны. Кришна Чайтанья Махапрабху пришел Прабхупада, и что он делал? Он тоже раздавал. Отправился на Запад. И он часто говорил, я пришел не для того, чтобы что-то взять. Большинство индейцев были известны тем, что приходили попрошайничать. 40 лет назад. Да, я говорил людям, что я из Индии, они говорили, это страна попрошаек. Но Прабхупада говорил, я пришел для того, чтобы давать. В Лондоне репортер спросил Свами, зачем
And in his sense, Prabhupada said, I have come to give. But you Britishers came to our country and you looted our country. Whatever you thought was valuable, you just took it away. You looted.
Шрила Прабхупада сказал, вы, британцы, пришли в Индию, собрали все, что вы считали каким-то ценным.
But you folks or your viceroys, they forgot or left behind the most valuable gift of India.
Вице-король забыл взять самый ценный в Индии. Что же это?
And Prabhupada said, so what you left behind, I have come to deliver that home delivery.
Вы забрали взять, я принес вам. Шел, чтобы дать дар сознания Кришны. Я пришел давать. Так Шрила Прабхупада, дающий, он хотел, чтобы его последователи стали известны как дающие. Главных наставлений. Давать книги, распространять книги, три раза это повторяет. Давайте книги, распространяйте книги.
So that is what we are expected to do. This is a will of the Lord.
Такой приказ Господа, что мы должны делать. То, что Он принял в форме Бхагавад-гиты, в конце Бхагавад-гиты Кришна выражает свою волю, так Шри Chaitanya Mahaprabhu выразил похожую волю. И Шрила Прабхупада основало международное общество. И он организовал это общество сознания, чтобы мы могли исполнить волю Господа, давать послание, которое имя, просад, давать. Особенно этот месяц. Месяц марафона мы сосредотачиваем, чтобы давать. И особенно давать Бхагавад. Наш Прабхупада высказывает. Прабхупада, это ваше высказывание.
So this we are in business.
Так, у нас есть важное дело.
We have made a target. Conduct some business partners. Our target this year is to distribute 2 million Bhagavad Gitas.
И в этом году была поставлена цель распространить 2 миллиона Бхагавад-гит. В Индии мы в Лакхах, извиняюсь.
almost there, but not quite there.
Мы уже почти
And that's
к
the
этой
reason I
цели,
think
еще
I'm
чуть-чуть
here or
приложить
there's a
усилия.
small little lineup. Soon another speaker or Bhima Prabhu is in the pipeline or Giriraj Maharaj,
Также на очереди сейчас должен
my temple president. When I joined,
Mahaprabhu, Гирирадж
Maharaj was
Махарадж.
my temple president, and
Гирирадж Махарадж был моим
he
президентом.
used to send me distributing, and Gopal Krishna Maharaj became my GBC, and
Кришна Махарадж стал моим
he gave
GBC.
me charge of BBT, traveling Sankirtan parties leader. I became.
Дал мне
And
ответственность за
distributing
путешествующих
books.
Санкиртаны, BBC.
77, bedridden, as you know, and
Прабхупада был прикован в
we were
постель.
out there. I had a traveling party called Narad Muni Traveling Sankirtan Party.
У нас
And
была
we had
группа
been distributing books everywhere.
народа, и мы
And
путешествовали
distributing and distributing books. We had
распространяли
gone to
книги.
Badrikashram.
Мы отправились в
And then, so we
Бадрикашрам,
came back,
потом вернулись.
and we were reporting to Srila Prabhupada, and
Давали отчет,
Srila
что
Prabhupada lying in the bed for months,
Прабхупада
and
уже
he could barely
был в
speak,
постели, едва мог
but
говорить.
he was very eager, very keen to hear the
Но он
reports of our book distribution.
горячо желал
And
услышать,
he was inquiring, which book is the most?
они не-
Yes, and
какая книга лучше всего
just
распространяется.
quickly, suddenly, lively as
И
he was
он
hearing the Sankirtan report.
ожил,
And
слушая
as
эти
part of that reporting, I also said to Srila Prabhupada, while we were at Badrikashram,
И мы рассказали, что
we
Прабхупаде, что
visited Vyas Gufa, cave of Srila
бывали
Vyasadeva.
в Ашаме,
We showed your Bhagavad Gita to Srila
Пещеру.
Vyasadeva. I said that with a humorously.
Мы сказали, что мы сказали Вьясадеве вашу Бхагавад-гиту.
He's happy to I could read
Потом
happiness on his
был
face.
счастлив.
So his book distribution gave great pleasure to
Книги
Srila Prabhupada. If you
огромное
please me, he
удовольствие,
also said
что
distribute my
Прабхупада,
books.
он часто это
So
повторяет, распространяет мои книги.
we want you to be happy also and pleased, and I'm pleased by pleasing Srila Prabhupada, you will become pleased.
Благодаря Шрила Прабхупаду
By
вы будете
pleasing Srila Prabhupada, we also please Sri Krishna.
удовлетворяешь Шрила
Prasada,
Прабхупаду, вы удовлетворяете
Prasada.
Кришну.
So the Prabhus, well, Matajis are every man, woman, our humble and gentle reminder that
Наше смиренное
don't take it
напоминание.
easy. We have only a few more
Являйтесь,
days to go, and maybe only a few more
марафон
100,000
распространения
Bhagavad to go.
продолжается.
Before
7 января в
We
этом
did
году
it. We could say, we did it. We did it.
должны
2
достичь
million Bhagavad
этой
Gitas.
цели 2 миллиона Бхагавад-гит.
So don't relax yet.
Так что не расслабляйтесь.
So jump into action and
Продолжайте действовать.
distribute more books, more Gitas.
Планируйте распространять дальше книги.
So this kind of giving will give us life.
И когда мы участвуем
No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
в познании Кришны, это дает
This is Mahaprabhu's Paropkar. Parupkar. Not only take and take.
не
It's not a
только
good
мы
ghee.
даем, даем.
And then we hear that paropakaraya vahanti nadyaha. Rivers flow, full of water flowing. For what? Paropakaraya, to give water to others.
Чтобы давать воду им, текут реки.
Paropakaraya phalanti vrakshaha. And for paropakar only, the trees are bearing fruits.
И деревья
Trees are giving fruits to
дают
others.
плоды только ради
And
блага
they're
других.
giving, and that is their paropakar.
Они тоже раздаются.
Paropakaraya
Их благотворительная деятельность, параупа.
gavaha duhanti gavaha, and the cows give milk for others.
Коровы
And in
дают
conclusion,
молоко
it says,
для других.
Paropakaraya idam shariram, this body, human form of life is
И
for
дам шкирам
paropakaraya,
человеческое тело.
for the benefit of
Значит,
others.
для того, чтобы приносить благо другим.
This human form of life is for giving
Это
Krishna in this
человеческая
form, that
форма
form.
жизни предназначена давать
Let us make
Кришну.
our life perfect by
Давайте же сделаем наш путь совершенный,
and what we give
давая
is we give.
наши дни
Bhagavad-gitas, so
Бхагавад-гиты.
you have already done. We thank you. We congratulate you for already good scores, big scores. Radhesham Prabhu is Radhesham, Radhika Ramana.
И уже достигли большие результаты.
Push on a little longer and get
Продолжайте.
there.
Да.
All right.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Большое
Frankly,
спасибо.
just seeing you brings great enthusiasm to our hearts.
Да, вижу
The
вас.
message is really profound. I especially was
Энтузиазм.
touched with the
Особенно я был
story of you bringing your scores to Prabhupada and how
при
enlivened he got. I must
результате.
admit, whenever I see you, and whenever I hear from you, I
Полного
get
его жизни.
renewed life in Krishna consciousness. And you've brought to all the devotees around the world by coming on here today. But
Вы
you've
сегодня
renewed energy to go into the last part of the marathon. We're so grateful to you.
новое
Many
вдохновение.
years ago, I
Благодарю.
hadn't been to the Dham in a few years, and I hadn't seen you in a long time. I was at Tulsi Puja in Mayapur, and you came up during the circumambulation, put your arm around my shoulder, and said, "Still alive and kicking." And and just getting that affirmation is so powerful, and you bring it wherever you go.
Я был на
Thank you
Туле.
very much, Maharaj,
И
for all
огненный.
that you do and for visiting us today.
Большое спасибо.
Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, Hare Krishna. And as Maharaj just mentioned, we have great fortune of having His Grace Bhima Prabhu.
Гирирадж Свами Бхима.
I'm fortunate to say that he's one of my close friends in Krishna consciousness.
Один из
He's
моих
also one of the pioneers of book distribution in the world. He started
пионер
that
распространения
book distribution service
книг.
in America
Он
and
начал
was
карьеру
instrumental in the early days of book distribution. And then he took same enthusiasm and technologies to India. He's been one of the stalwarts who has established book distribution there. Even the idea of transporting the Radhadam and our bus parties from America to India, which has become so successful, came from the heart of Bhima Prabhu. Book distribution and service as a pillar at the BBT and as a fixture in the India Yatra, advocating for book distribution over so many years. When I got together with Bhima several years ago and Sri Ram and a few other devotees, and we mentioned we'd like to possibly help develop some strategies and things, he immediately moved into action so that we could assist him in the way that he's been for many years, reaching out to all the temples across India to expand book distribution. Prabhu, thank you for all that you do and for coming here today to speak to us, to enliven us for the final part of the live to give marathon.
в
Hare Krishna.
завершающей фазе марафона «Жить, чтобы отдавать».
Thank you, Vaisheshika Prabhu,
Спасибо, Вайшешика Прабху,
for giving us an opportunity to address the devotees
нам
in
возможно
words,
сказать
the Live to Give campaign.
для преданных,
When we go out on book distribution, what
когда мы
are
выходим
we giving?
на распространение книг, что мы даем.
One of the things that came to my mind that we're giving is we're giving an understanding of the absolute truth as a person.
Мы даем понимание абсолютной истины, как личности.
But 99% of the people of the world, they have this impersonal conception of the absolute truth.
9% современных людей имеют имперсональность.
By giving them Srila Prabhupada's books, we can actually bring them around to the real understanding, to the truth. That the world
Книги Шрила Прабхупады приходят к правильному пониманию
is
абсолютно.
temporary. And it's not our real identity, it's eternal spirit souls. So as the books go out,
Наша истина
gradually people's consciousness will change.
вечными духовными душами. Когда люди получают книги,
How that will happen,
меняется.
very difficult to understand for our small-sized brains, but it'll happen. And gradually, it is happening. I can remember when the full Marathi, Lokanath Swami Maharaj's mother tongue is Marathi, and he's from a village in Maharashtra. So we came to India back in 1977. I came to stay, but around the year 1980,
Приехал
we went to a place called Pandharpur. And in Pandharpur,
я побывал
there
в
is
Пандхапуре.
a deity of Vittal, Pandura, famous deity in Maharashtra. And people come on a certain
Божество
It's Ekadasi in the month of July.
большое
And
полотно,
lakhs and lakhs of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people
сотни и
come
сотни
from their villages,
людей
walking
приходят.
all the way from their village to Pandharpur to be there on that Ekadasi. And they travel in groups called dindis. What a dindi is, it's like a Sankirtan party. They have drums, they have cymbals.
Есть свои группы
Mother
Санкиртаны,
Tulsi,
Аванами, Малами,
carried on the lady's head in front of the dindi. They're all following Tulsi,
на
chanting
голове.
the names of Krishna, chanting the names of Ram,
Они идут, поют на
eventually arriving into Pandharpur.
затем прибывают в
So we
Пандхапур.
went there on this day back in 1980
И это были 80-е годы. В этот день мы были в Пандхапур.
in India. Made
Первый
available
раз.
the Marathi Bhagavad Gita.
Это
Full,
только
complete. Before there was only 6
когда
chapters.
только вышла
The
Бхагавад-гита
holy teacher,
на языке.
Jesse Aitashi. Exactly. Thank you, Mara. Ya Yana Gya Sarvani Kriga.
Бхагавад-гита на языке
So
Марати.
I didn't know Marathi, but I learned the mantra, to call the people to come and see.
Я не знал
There
это.
were some foreigners.
Я
Akshay Prabhu was
выучил мантру на Марати, чтобы как-то зазывать людей.
devotees were out there. We had 1,000 Marathi Bhagavad Gitas to
Около
distribute.
1000 Бхагавад-гит на Марати мы там
There were so many
распространили.
people, and they were
Было
so
столько людей,
enlivened to get a Gita. In one
так
day,
вдохновлены,
1,000 Marathi Bhagavad Gitas were sold.
что мы продали их за один день.
And we've been Bhagavad Gitas. Really.
И эти люди были такие благочестивые. Перед тем, как взять гиту, они снимали обувь и брали после этого гиту.
Across the Chandapur, and Radha Pandrinath is there. So after about 10 years, 12 years, 15 years distributing Bhagavad Gita in Maharashtra, I was Bhagavad Gitas, what's the result? But when I went to the
Лет
installation,
10 как мы уже начали распространять эти программы, я думал, какой же результат?
the temple started by Maharaj there in Pandharpur, I saw what's the result. All these devotees from Maharashtra, thousands of them, literally, with their bead bags,
Сейчас
and
мы имеем тысячи
realized what was the result
поющих Хари Кришна.
of giving
Такой
these
результат
Marathi Bhagavad Gitas out
распространения Бхагавад-гит
See,
на
gradually,
Мараthi.
so many devotees were coming. And we
Столько
have our own temple in Pandharpur.
у нас
Like
есть.
that, there's many centers all over Maharashtra. So when we give, we get.
Когда
We
мы
get devotees.
даем людям
We
Кришну,
get
мы сами
the
получаем.
reputation for Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya's philosophy.
Репутацию Прабхупады. Люди начинают понимать, что Бог — это личность.
People's consciousness can change to
Сознание
understand
людей.
what is the actual facts, right? That God is a person, and we can have this loving relationship.
У нас
Just hearing
любовные
Chaitanya
отношения
Maharaj speak reminded me of those
Бхагаватхара,
escapades that we did in the early days.
об этих
Trying to
путешествующих
distribute
группах.
Srila Prabhupada's books. And it's what it gives us life. It's what gives
То,
us
что дает нам жизнь,
anandam buddhivardhanam,
ананда
ocean of happiness to expand more and more.
счастья.
Now practically every district in Maharashtra, there's preaching going on. Wherever you go, you'll find devotees.
Практически
Find
деятельности
you'll find devotees preaching about
искусства.
personal aspect of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. And this is the result of
Каков результат?
giving them Srila Prabhupada's books.
Даем
Maharaj mentioned,
людям книги
we've
Шрила.
been given this life to
Это
give to
дает
others.
нам жизнь, когда мы
The best way we can give to others is give them transcendental knowledge. Give them an opportunity
даем людям трансцендентное знание, даем им
that Lord, the
возможность
eternal spirit soul,
понять
part and
истину,
parcel of Krishna,
духовно,
meant to develop love for Krishna.
развить любовь к Кришне.
That's the goal of life.
Такова цель жизни.
I just want to thank
Хочу поблагодарить
Vaisheshika Prabhu,
Вайшешику Прабху,
this Lоканatha
за
Swami
всех
Maharaj,
своим
association over all these years.
за
They keep me
общение.
in line, they keep me on track. It's like a train.
Мне
It
огромное
jumps off the track, very difficult to get it back on. In fact, in India, I've seen so many train wrecks where they just take the bogies, if they've jumped the track, and throw them on the side of the road. They're useless, right? In the same way, if we leave devotional service, if we get off the track of this journey to go back home, back to Godhead, just like the bogies in the train wreck, we become useless. So the only thing that keeps a train going are those tracks. And the association of the devotees, those are the tracks that keep us going, that keep us headed in the right direction.
Поезд идет по рельсам, он двигается по ним. Для нас рельсы — это общество верных. В этом обществе мы можем надежно держаться на пути. Устраивает. У нас есть возможность получить самое лучшее общение для того, чтобы продвигать в верном направлении. Милость, Чайтанья Махапрабху бесполезна.
With motor vehicles, cars, and we put them back together. We didn't know what we were doing. We're just kind of garage mechanics. And inevitably, after we put the engine back together, there'd be some screw, there'd be some part left over. And we think, where does this go?
Слесарь, он разбирает
Useless junk.
много винтиков, потом он собирает, иногда
The engine,
какие-то винтики
outside the engine, it
остаются.
became useless.
Они бесполезны, когда они не задействуют в моторе.
There to be part of Lord Chaitanya's movement.
Также наше назначение быть частью движения Господа Чайтаньи, раздавая любовь к Богу. За пределами этого мы бесполезны.
association. It's really important for us to keep going in the right direction and keep on track.
Для нас, для того,
And,
чтобы двигаться в правильном направлении,
Hare Krishna.
обратно.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu.
Большое спасибо,
And
Биг.
I love the section. Remember the history between you and Maharaj with the
История
Gitas going together.
именно Махарадж.
Ya stak sampliya hai loka ya. Right, Maharaj?
Ага, значит,
These are the,
Sundar, family goes.
these are the samskars of book distributors.
таковы сами
They have everything in there. Thank you very much, Bhima Prabhu. And speaking of the important screw that holds together the machine,
Вы
you've
рассказали
always been
о
there
важных
from the
винтиках,
very beginning and always holding together the book distribution movement.
играть машину вместе.
And that's why, in my opinion, it's become so huge in India. Hare Krishna.
В Индии мы видим, как сейчас распространение.
Now, let's look at how we're doing. We'll look at the map. I want to mention also that we have Russian and Spanish translation going on.
Идет русский.
And thank again Ambarishi Maharaj translating into Russian for all the Russian speakers. And we have Prema Prabhu in Argentina translating for everyone on the call who's listening in Spanish. And let's take a peek at the pledges map. Devotees around the world have calculated how much they're going to do, how many Bhagavad Gitas. We have so far 170 communities
170
involved
правил
that
по
we know
обещанию.
of and growing. We have 35 countries who
35
have
стран.
made definite pledges that we've recorded. And so far we have pledges for 2,379,796 Bhagavad Gitas.
Книга
If
обещана.
we put those all together,
Миллиона Индия.
I think we would have a stadium full of Bhagavad Gitas.
Это целый
Even
стадион.
one Bhagavad Gita in the world can change the entire population when
Даже
we speak of more
одна
than 2 million.
Бхагавад-гита может
It is a worthy
изменить.
cause. Every Bhagavad Gita that goes out has the potential of
Ну, каждый
causing a spiritual revolution, and Srila Prabhupada wanted
идея
a revolution in
потенциал
society,
видит
especially
полную революцию
or
в
very prominently through the distribution of the transcendental literatures headed by Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. If you've made a pledge, whatever it may be, even if your eyes were bigger than your stomach,
Можем
and you made
знать
a pledge that you think was a little bigger than you think you can now do, still go for it. We have
Yes,
until the 7th
обещание у
of
нас
January, and
продолжать.
you never know what will happen. People are coming forward from all over the world saying, I'd like to help with this. And
Люди
if you just try and go all the way to the finish line, you'll see that
я
Lord
сейчас
Chaitanya will put wind in your sails.
Господь
Now, I'd like to have Anukul Seva Prabhu present the tracker. This is for pledges. When
Это
we've
то, что
measured all these, there's a
вещь.
tracker through which we're measuring exactly how many books have been distributed to date. And you say something about that, Anukul.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Yes, so on prabhupadmarathon.com, and I'll quickly show the website where all of the action is happening.
Prabhupadmarathon.com.
So if devotees go to prabhupadmarathon.com, they're greeted by a world view of how we're doing across the world in terms of the pledges. We can also see all the different spots around the world light up, and we can check out how each center is doing. Again, this was just recently launched, so the pledges are up to date, and we're asking all the representatives from each of these centers to fill in the total Gitas that are distributed to date. So here you can see how we're doing globally, as well as see how we're actually tracking towards our 2 million. Of course, this number right now is much higher in reality, and the numbers are coming in, and we're requesting all the center representatives to please check your emails or write to us to get access to be able to update the numbers. And we have a full list of over 180 centers here about around the world, talking about how many books they have said and where they're at. So this is a resource for devotees to check out how the marathon's going and be inspired and sort of stay connected to the global team. Maharaj, please, if anything I missed.
So everybody has to go to prabhupadmarathon.com. Is that what it is?
Yes, Maharaj, that's where you can view what's happening around the world, and representatives who are registered can log in from here as well and update their numbers.
Okay, Bhima Prabhu, does that sound reasonable, doable? Getting all
What?
the leaders in India to report, that's going to make up a bulk of it.
Было бы неплохо, если бы
We'll have to get the
подала
information out.
свои
I was
отчеты.
just trying to write down the site,
Результат получить похож на
prabhupada.com.
пределами Индии.
Divyanam Prabhu, does that sound reasonable, getting out to all your regions?
Yes, Prabhu.
Ужасный результат он здесь.
I think you're muted, Divyanam Prabhu.
Миллиончик они уже сделали.
Okay. Thank you very much. So prabhupadmarathon.com is where you need to go to actually register your scores. And if you've got counter beads and you're chanting, you want to be pulling them down every time you chant around. So make sure that you enter it. It makes a big difference. Just distributing the book doesn't complete it. Entering your score completes it. When Shrutadev Prabhu started the Sankirtan newsletter around 1975, it took about a year before the devotees around the world started reporting to it. And it only happened after Prabhupada said, yes, everybody should send their scores.
Только к концу 1975 года, когда реально подавал результат, Прабхупада был очень счастлив.
Okay, so we want to get some updates from some of the leaders around the world to see how things are going and to offer some encouragement for everybody else. So,
Доложат лидер.
Sri Ram Prabhu, do you want to check in and say anything from your side, from India?
Из Индии должен Шрирам Прабhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Please, humble
Sri
obeisance.
Ram Prabhu is one of the leaders in India. We work under Bhima Prabhu, and he's helped facilitate Bhima Prabhu. Our work in India helps to keep us organized and on track. Go ahead, Sri Ram Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, the Gita Jayanti day, but a big boost in India. There's also Vaikunta Ekadasi, especially in South, and whole lot of devotees had yagnas in their local temples, and I keep this lot of activity went on, and like most of the temples are on track for their pledges. I could say in Hyderabad now we have 75,000, and every temple is intact. Their goals are very promising, and devotees are trying to catch up these events. Gita Jayanti is over, and the New Year is coming up. And also we have a Sankranti. There is a Pongal festival coming up. And also this is a special month, Masana Margasisham. A lot of temples and devotees are doing their best to get their pledges on track, Prabhu. So so far it looks very promising, and we should able to close our whatever pledges by first week or second week of Jan. That's how it is looking now.
Все, что мы достигнем
From
всех
across
результатов.
the
Первого
centers, whatever I heard so far.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Sri Ram Prabhu. And I liked your phrase, close the pledges. If you made a pledge, Lord Chaitanya will back you up if you just go for it, and then make sure you report it. Report, report, report. Thank you. Now from North America, one of the great dynamic leaders of the book distribution movement is Nandini Kishori, and she's going to speak for a couple minutes about North America. Please go ahead, Nandini Kishori.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inspiration, all of you, especially Vaisheshika Prabhu. We saw in Alachua, we doubled very easily, almost. It almost felt like overnight with every inspiration that we got from these calls, and each and everybody sharing their realizations, what is working, what is the size of, how to print it. Every resource was given. It was
Очень
go, go,
активно
go. It
обмениваются
was
своим
like
опытом.
family coming together, and
Как они это
not only
делают,
Alachua, we saw
какие
small
они
centers with
используют
few
наклейки,
devotees, doubling,
семинары,
tripling.
слоганов и
One
так
center
далее.
made 1,000 Gita as a goal, very small community, New Vrindavan. And they said, no, Mataji, we want to distribute 5,000 books now. So all of these devotees and 500. And when the thing goal to 1,000. We saw Minnesota and
взяла
so
500,
much distributing the books on like wagons and walking everywhere, and it was just so inspiring. You know, this is like man launching a rocket on the moon. With every person coming together, earlier our goals used to be really small, like firecrackers we would launch, and some of them would burst. But now it's like rockets launching, and we are going into neighborhoods, and we are going into this real estate packs, and we are going in every possible way. There's like no stone unturned. Every idea that anybody. Yeah, the whole tree was manifested within minutes because every center was in it together. And it was so nice to see Mohini. I don't know when she sleeps. And it was so nice to work with each and every center leader. We did Modern Gita training orientation seminars within 3 days. Ranga Devi from Boston, Divyananda Prabhu from DC. They said, Mataji, we have pledges for 1,200 books we are going to distribute in few days. And same thing with Boston. They are going to distribute 700 Gitas in few days. And we have never seen that. It was like a spark, and immediately it will start a forest. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for inspiration, for being in this together, and really taking Srila Prabhupada's moment to millions of steps further. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vaisheshika.
Way to go, Nandini Kishori. Mataji, fantastic work.
Vaisheshika Prabhu,
Спасибо за
I
ваше.
would add one point, just inspired from Mataji's talk.
Yes.
Sorry for that.
Я вдохновился от Матаджи,
Marathon
ты
this
тоже
year,
упомянул.
when we started taking pledges, if you see the India map, every temple almost on the corner participated in the marathon. And everybody said, even like small temples, even doing 500,000 books. If you see the India map, it's fully covered, Prabhu. It's like, I got from Shammohini Mataji, the earth is covered. Like India is like everyone is into the game this year, with all the mercy of Vaishnavas and Bhima Prabhu,
В Индии
Gopal
все живые и
Krishna
неживые
Maharaj,
центры
Radha
все
Maharaj,
подключились.
all great Vaishnavas has actually inspired everybody to participate.
Свободного
This
места.
year, everyone gave their pledges, and everybody is doing
Все
big.
взяли
Some of them are
обещания.
doubling it, tripling it, and
Некоторые уже
this is a good
удваивают,
vibration in the pandemic.
да, уже 2 миллиона.
The dots on the map look like a pandemic. Only it's we're fighting the Mayak pandemic. So thank you. It's happening all over the world. The devotees called me yesterday. Actually, it was Vijay Prabhu from San Diego. He said something amazing has happened. We didn't think we could do anything during the pandemic. We were going to stay home. He said, but now the devotees, there's a huge swell. There's a tsunami, and we've run out of books. What should we do? This is happening.
Мне вчера позвонил.
Okay, so now let's hear from Sri Prabhu. He's stationed in the UK, but overseeing a huge swaths of the world in the.
Но он говорит, что цунами, распространение книг нас наводило. У нас книги кончились, что нам делать?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, my obeisances, or glories to Srila Prabhupada, my obeisances to everybody. Maharaj, Europe is doing well, very well. All the temples are now towards concluding, working towards the last few days. So the energy is very high. Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, these countries are still able to do some form of book distribution on the streets, in the van. So devotees are still traveling and they're still trying to distribute Bhagavad Gita. And the numbers will start to come into our center team very soon. In answer to your question, they all have the registration link and they will be sending in their scores on the prabhupadmarathon.com as shown by Prabhuji earlier. So it's going well. All the temples had their yagyas and recitations, which was a big success. Of course, in Europe, Bhaktivedanta Manor had the biggest chunk. We took that on our shoulder. That Manor in Marathon historically has done over 100,000 books altogether, but Bhagavad Gita probably not more than 20,000. But this year we went in and we said, okay, we're going to try for something a little bit higher, and we have gone for 35,000. And I'm very happy to share with you that just today we are still getting the scores, but I think looks like we will smash 35,000 for the Manor based on the mainly in the last 40 days is what has happened.
Последние годы распространял 20 тысяч Бхагавад Гит. В этом году мы дали обещание 35 тысяч, и похоже, что мы его превзойдем.
So we had a campaign to have 108 devotees come up together among various other initiatives. To each of these devotees were to then reach out to 10 of their friends and tell them something about Bhagavad Gita, which they have not heard of, and encourage them to sponsor it. And also invite them for our regular chat sanghas, which we do every evening. So the whole package together, and I just want to share a little maths on that, Maharaj. I did that maths. So we thought, okay, if 108 devotees can do this and reach out to 10 people, collectively 108 times 10 times, even if they get minimum sponsorship, the first level, which is 15 Bhagavad Gitas, we could look to do 16,200 Bhagavad Gitas. That's what we were eyeing at. And at the end of yesterday, when we looked at the number, Maharaj, just by this, we had, first of all, our main goal was to have 108 devotees in the spirit of teamwork. And we managed to get 112 just on the last day of the Gita, on the day of World Gita Day. And collectively, just with this 108 devotees, we have distributed 18,200 Bhagavad Gita. We smashed that 16,000.
Которые мы получили, превзошел наши ожидания. Эти 108 преданных распространили 18 тысяч Бхагавад Гит, обзванивая друзей.
And that's how we were managed to do that. And Bhakti Vriksha, mentorship, all the sanghas, everybody's worked together, Maharaj. The kids here in UK have also surpassed their very small. There were only 10 children who got involved in presentations. They had a goal of 500 Gitas and they've smashed that. They've gone over 600 Bhagavad Gitas. So that's really nice as well. And we initiated a well-being pack for everybody, especially for our Western audience. And we were hoping to do at least 25, 30 of these well-being packs. And I think we're still counting, but Chandra Chaitanya Prabhu is on the call. But I think we're just looking, hopefully we will get to 50 well-being packs. And of which we are hoping to have at least 25 to 30 new Western audience people coming for a course in the first week of January, learning about bhakti and how they can progress through Krishna Wisdom program. So that was also one of our focus this year too. Been a good success
комплекта, в который входила Бхагавад-гита, еще что-то. В результате они ожидают 25 новых людей, которые будут проходить курс по бхакти для начинающих в январе месяце.
Sorry, 1 second, Maharaj. I think that might take a time. So I just wanted to share smart boxes was a biggest hit for us. Contact calling parties, huge for London, Soho, many other temples across Europe are trying it for the first time. And that went down really very well. And we have many other packs. We also reached out to 1,000 people from our database of temple with an appreciation pack, which included 2 other books of Srila Prabhupada and a nice letter from our side to say thank you to them in this time and being an ambassador of our local temple. So that has really helped as well in this time of reaching out to our local audiences and not and finally, Maharaj, I just wanted to mention, and on this very small note on the power of Bhagavad Gita, Sutapa Prabhu just returned from 24 days of wonderful marathon in France with Jananand Maharaj. and he shared a story with us which had left us all us in tears, including himself.
Путешествующей группы во
He was on
Франции.
a train. I'm going to keep it really short to end on it. He was on a train and he met
поезде
a 15-year-old young boy
встретил
who had come
юношу,
from Croatia. He had lost his parents at the age of 13.
он
His brother asked him to
потерял
go away
своих
because he couldn't look
родителей,
after him when he was 14.
его
So
родители умерли.
at the age of 15, he hitchhiked from all the way from Croatia and entered into France because his father said, "Go, maybe France would be good for you." He went into France, and
Он стопом
on the train, Sutapa Prabhu met with him. Sutapa Prabhu gave him a Bhagavad Gita, and he took the Gita he said basically, I have no parents, I have no papers, I have nothing. I don't know where I'm going to sleep tonight. And just as Sutapa Prabhu heard that, he reached out to his pocket to give him 20-30 euros to give it to him because he was really feeling compassion for him and he wanted the Gita as well. So just as Sutapa Prabhu was about to reach out to give him the money, he himself went into his pocket, change he had, and he said, "You are in this because of the love, and this is the love which I'm going to be taking with me in the form of Bhagavad Gita, and I can't wait to read this literature actually." So that was a really a sort of a crescendo for us in the last few days, hearing this story and seeing the power of Bhagavad Gita and what it carries. People across the world. So Europe is doing very well, Maharaj. UK is definitely set for smashing the target of 54,000 that I can very confidently say, looking at the scores of all the temples. And we are praying for the rest of the Europe also to come together on our pledges, Maharaj. Back to you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Divyanam Prabhu. Also, I want to mention that we have Russian and Spanish translation going on.
Идет перевод на
Message in the chat box if you want to see how to get onto the translation so you can hear it in your own language. We now welcome His Holiness Ghiriraj Swami.
А теперь приветствуем его всех, Гирираджа Свами,
From California.
который присоединяется к нам из Калифорнии,
One of the great leaders of the Sankirtan movement
с
in the
великих
world,
лидеров движения
and
Санкиртана,
one of the great inspirers of book distribution,
величайших
being a book distributor himself from
книг, он сам распространял
since the early days.
с
Thank you
ранних
very much, Maharaj, for joining us here
Кришны.
today. I got a message in the chat box over here from Bhima Prabhu saying that some centers still are only halfway through their pledges, and we have only till January 7th. He said Juhu's halfway through the pledges. So everything counts now, and all the words that you say to us will be very meaningful in meeting our
Другу
goal
пока
of
мы
distributing
только
at least 2 million Bhagavad
50%
Gitas.
свое обещание,
Everyone,
а
please welcome
осталось
His
уже не
Holiness
так много,
Ghiriraj
так что
Swami. Hare Krishna.
каждая книга идет в зачет.
Thank you for inviting me into this
Спасибо, что вы пригласили меня
assembly.
в это благоприятное собрание.
Glorious purpose of encouraging book distribution.
Вдохновляется.
In a letter to me, Srila Prabhupada wrote,
В моем письме мне шло
"Go on increasing books
продолжаю
and
увеличивать
go on
поколение,
increasing my pleasure."
продолжает
And that
увеличивать
has
мое
always
удовольствие.
stayed in my
Это
mind.
всегда осталось в моем уме.
When I first joined the Boston Temple,
Впервые присоединился к храму в Бостоне.
the first service I did
Первое служение, которое я
that
начал делать,
attracted Srila Prabhupada's personal attention
это привлекло лишь
after he left
внимание
Boston.
Прабхупады,
After he left Boston, I
что
joined
он
during
уехал
the
из
period when he
Бостона.
was in Boston.
Я присоединился,
But
когда он
the
был в
first
Бостоне.
service I did
Первое
that
служение,
attracted his attention after he left
внимание
was
Прабхупады.
placing books in bookstores.
Я
I went to the
предлагал книги
Harvard Co-op
выставить в книжных
in
магазинах.
Cambridge, and they took a huge number of
В
Srila Prabhupada's books.
Кембриджский университет они
And
взяли
there
огромное
were
количество.
other bookstores in the
Были
area
другие
because
магазины в этой территории,
it's
которые
in
тоже
Harvard University. And later, I
позже
met one, maybe two devotees
Я встретил одного или
said
двух,
that they
которые
became
сказали, что
devotees
они стали
by
преданными.
reading the books that I had placed in
Книги,
the
которые я
bookstores
поместил в библиотеку.
at Harvard Square. So that was very encouraging and
Это очень вдохновляет.
gratifying. I think I'd like to read. It's just a little from.
Зачитаю немножко.
Anyways, just so you know, it's a book called "Watering the Seed" that I wrote, and there's a section about book distribution.
Там есть небольшой раздел распространения книг.
So I titled this little entry,
Я назвал
"The Greatest Pain, the Greatest Gain."
величайшая боль, величайшее обретение.
When Lord Chaitanya was discussing with Ramanatha Rai,
Проводил обсуждение
what
с
is the
Раманой,
most painful experience,
является самым
the
болезненным.
answer given was
Ответ
separation from the devotees of Krishna.
преданными Кришны.
And when the question was asked, what is the most auspicious, beneficial activity for the living entity? The answer was association with the devotees of Krishna.
Общение с преданными
To
Кришны.
give benefit and auspiciousness to the living entities,
Для того, чтобы
we
дать
have to give them
благо
association.
живым существам, мы должны
Otherwise,
дать им
how
общение,
will they get auspiciousness?
как они обретут благо.
Almost everyone in the material world is suffering.
В материальном мире все страдают.
They don't know.
Они не
We
знают.
know they are suffering
Мы
because
знаем.
of separation from pure devotees.
Они страдают из-за разлуки
Therefore,
с
to
чувствами
remove
преданных.
their suffering
Поэтому,
and
чтобы
bring
устранить их
auspiciousness to them, we should go to
благоприятную
them and
ситуацию,
give them Srila
должны
Prabhupada's
к ним
association
давать им
through
общение,
his
что
words.
Прабхупады через его слова.
And in serving the mission of Srila Prabhupada and Sriman Mahaprabhu,
Прабхупады,
we
Шримана
bring
Махапрабху
auspiciousness not
приносит
only to those we meet,
все
but
благоприятное
also to ourselves.
не только этим людям, но и
Srila
самим себе.
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told Srila Prabhupada,
Сказал Шри
you should
Прабхупада,
preach. This will be
должен
good for you
проповедовать.
as well as for your audience.
Будет
So
благоприятно
let
для
us deliver all
для
souls,
твоей
including
аудитории.
ourselves,
Давайте же
from the
освобождать
greatest
души,
suffering and
включая
bring them the
себя,
greatest benefit.
от величайшего
Srila
страдания,
Prabhupada's
величайшее
association
благо,
through his
общение
books.
с Шрилой Прабхупадой через его книги.
Now, one point that
Момент,
is related to distributing Srila Prabhupada's
связанный
books
с распространением книг
is
Шрилы
reading
Прабхупады,
them.
это их чтение.
Srila Prabhupada said
Шрила Прабхупада говорил
of his devotees,
своим преданным,
distributing my books will keep them happy.
распространение книг
Reading my books will
делает
keep
вас
them,
счастливыми.
meaning reading my books will keep them in Krishna consciousness.
А чтение этих книг даст вам возможность находиться в сознании Кришны.
Spurijan Das often
Говорит,
says the best way
милость
to learn
будет.
something.
Лучший способ научиться чему-то – это учить других.
So I have found
Я
that
обнаружил,
study
я
Srila Prabhupada's books
изучал книги
has
Шрилы Прабхупады,
greatly enhanced
и это
my teaching of them.
сильно усиливалось,
I've
когда я
taken courses
преподавал
at
эти
the
книги другим.
VIHE, Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education,
Давние
mainly on the nectar of
16
devotion and the nectar of instruction.
изучаю там
And by teaching,
Прабхупады и
I was
обучаю тем,
able to go so much
был
deeper
способен
into the
гораздо
books
глубже погрузиться в эти
as
книги.
His Holiness Srila Govinda Swami Maharaj said. Srila Prabhupada's books are like an ocean.
Гор Говинда Махарадж говорил, что
At
Шрила
the
Прабхупада
bottom
подобны
of the
океану.
there are many precious gems and jewels.
В этом океане есть много
Gems
драгоценных
and
камней.
jewels. You
Чтобы их найти, нужно глубоко нырнуть в этот океан.
So, yeah, when in the early days, almost the #1 book distributor. We had one lady named Jadharani Devidasi, but she wouldn't come out every day. But when she came out, she distributed the most. But other than that, I would always place the book or the magazine. In those days, we did a lot of back to God.
Распространяли много журналов. Мы старались дать их в руки людям. Когда они уже держали книгу в руке, они привязывались к ним.
Page through it with them, and they'd become more attracted.
Когда мы им проповедовали, они привлекали. Затем мы просили и большинство людей были рады что-то пожалуйста.
Or minutes with them to encourage them to read the book.
И затем, когда они уже давали пожертвования, чтобы они прочитали, не пытался убежать сразу после того, как прочитал книгу. Хотел их вдохновить, чтобы они получили максимальное благо. Еще один поразительный опыт, который у меня был на Махакумбамеле в Аллахабаде. Знаете, это великое духовное собрание. Каждые 12 лет раз в 12 лет проходит Махакумбамела. И в 1977 году была такая Махакумбамела. Огромные толпы людей, люди просто как сумасшедшие хотели купить эти книги.
Asking for them by name. The books had become so famous. They would
книги стали так знаменитые, что люди сами и называли уже название книг. Мне вот такую книгу. Сколько распространения книг Прабхупады.
And then, I don't know if I should say I'll conclude with one other story, but it was.
Расскажу еще одну историю.
So during the December marathon one year,
во время декабрьского марафона,
somehow got an appointment with G.D. Birla, who was like.
мне удалось договориться о встрече с Бирлой, мистером Бирлой.
I was going to distribute some books, see if I could distribute.
Конечно же, я хотел дать ему какие-то книги.
While I was sitting with him, he got an important international phone call, so he had to leave. And then it struck me, I should distribute sets to him. He's not an ordinary person. So my assistant was Puridas. I said, Puridas, quick, run down to the car and bring all the books we have, the Bhagavatams, the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Наше намерение было предложить комплект Бхагават, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Как раз ему позвонили. Я своего помощника послал. Неси весь комплект. Как я понесу? Когда тебе там сейчас слуги помогут этому человеку? И он взял.
I learned this from Srila Prabhupada, not to,
Я
with a
научился.
big man, not to ask for
Он был с
coins.
большим человеком. Не нужно просить у него копейки.
How much do I owe you for these books? I said, no, these are our gift to you.
И он
And so
спросил,
he,
сколько я должен. Я
I'm
сказал,
sure
мне
he
надо
is
наш
a
подарок вам.
fierce negotiator. And he said, no, I can't.
Я все увел, хорошо торговался. Нет, я не могу плату взять.
For free, I have to pay you.
Я должен.
No, within
Нет,
my heart, I've already given these gifts.
Сердце, я даю вам эти книги, я не могу за них у вас взять деньги.
So I defeated him.
Я победил его.
Then he sent like quite a good check.
В конце концов, он выписал чек
So
на многие тысячи долларов, когда он...
internal engagement, book distribution, or certainly distributing the message of Krishna, the Parampara.
Распространение послания Кришны, великая деятельность.
In the remaining days of this
Этого марафона,
all the devotees to do as much as they possibly
предаваться,
can,
как насколько
for their own benefit and for the benefit
собственного блага, блага других,
and for the pleasure of His Grace Vaisheshika.
для удовольствия его милости Вайшешики Прабху.
Because Vaisheshika Prabhu is so aligned to Srila Prabhupada's desires that for
Да,
sure, if Vaisheshika
настолько
Prabhu
осознал
is
желание
pleased,
Прабхупады.
then Srila
Если
Prabhupada
он
is
будет
pleased.
доволен, то Шрила Прабхупада точно будет доволен.
Parampara and
Вся
Chaitanya
Парампара.
Mahaprabhu are
Шри
pleased.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu будет доволен.
And in my own little way, if I can encourage and support you, I would be happy.
Если я как-то смогу вам помочь, буду рад этого.
Yeah, according to my timer, my time is up.
Стекло.
But yeah, thank you again for
Sure.
inviting me into this
За то, что пригласили меня.
association
Прекрасное
for
собрание.
this most magnificent
Самое
of discussing
для самой великодушной цели обсуждения Кришны. Хари Кришна.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Sure.
Whatever alignment I have is due to my shelter under your lotus feet, and that's a fact, and everybody knows it.
Милость, что я получаю, это потому что я принял предыдущего вашего
I
слова.
have a question, if I may ask you.
Сure.
Just about numbers. We've been quite fixated on a number and a goal, you know, going for the 2 million Bhagavad Gitas around the world.
Медитируем,
It seems to have struck a chord, and devotees are rising to the occasion. But what is the, is this really bhakti? Should it, to be so fixated on a number of books going out and so forth? How do you feel about that? How can you guide us on our enthusiasm for hitting this goal? Is a little bit misplaced, or is it some spiritual principle behind this that you can encourage us to go ahead and give ourselves to such a
Как вы считаете, нужно ли нам посвятить свой
Well, bhakti means to
Bhakti
please Krishna.
означает удовлетворить Кришну.
And we know through Parampara that Krishna is
Знаем,
pleased
что Кришна хороший, Кришна доволен.
his message in the Bhagavad Gita.
Выполняем его послание в Бхагавад-гите.
And so having that goal to
Поэтому
encourage
ставить,
distributors
чтобы вдохновить,
to
распространить,
distribute more Gitas
распространить больше гит.
is glorious.
Это
It's
славно,
definitely part of bhakti.
несомненно, это часть
Because
бхакти.
it's encouraging us to strive to do more and better
Делать больше и лучше,
the service of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna.
нежели Прабхупаде и Кришне.
So yeah, there was I mean, it's a little different, but it is similar also.
Некая
There
новая
was an experimental school
была экспериментальная школа.
had the idea that the students should learn just by their own inquisitiveness and not have tests.
В этой школе решили отменить экзамены, оценки, чтобы
They had a very intelligent program.
учились просто на собственном энтузиазме.
Those students didn't learn as much as
Но
the
оказалось,
students who had to
что
do
эти ученики
tests.
учились гораздо хуже, чем те, которые сдавали
In a way,
экзамены.
having this goal, it's like
Поэтому
our test, our
ставить какую-то
test
цель — это как наш экзамен.
exam. And that will, inspire us to rise
Заставляет нас идти дальше.
goals of achievement, which is favorable for bhakti.
И это благоприятно для
And
Бхакти.
I've always loved my visits to ISV.
Мне очень нравится посещать
Malini
ваш храм,
Devidasi would
Силиконовой
give
долине,
results.
когда маленькие
Srila
Гаси
Prabhupada Vyasa-san,
результаты.
we broke and smashed all our goals, and it was like just so enlivening and inspiring. So yeah, we want to have goals and we want to smash them.
Или цели, мы хотим их превосходить.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Спасибо большое.
As far as our meditation, as we're
Что касается
going
нашей
forward
медитации,
in the next couple of weeks and beyond that, of course, but we're focused on
пару
the next couple
недель
of
мы
weeks. This
будем
ends on January 7th.
до 7 января.
What ways could we meditate on Srila Prabhupada to inspire us?
Как мы можем медитировать на Шрила
We
Прабхупаду?
can meditate on how he distributed books.
Можем медитировать, как
Before
он
he came to America,
распространял
he was
книги еще
distributing
до
books
того,
in
как
New Delhi,
поехал в
all by
Америку,
himself.
распространял.
Sometimes, it's very difficult. I think once
Да, это было
he had
очень тяжело.
sunstroke or
У него был
but
солнечный
still
удар.
he was doing it.
Он продолжал это
And
делать,
he wanted the movement
и он
to
хотел,
be
чтобы
financed by distributing books.
движение
He came to
финансировалось
New York City.
за счет
He was
распространения.
going to bookstores to
И
sell
он
his books.
приехал в
That's
Нью-Йорк-Сити,
how he
и он тоже
was surviving.
ходил по книжным магазинам, распространяя свои книги, и так он выживал.
We can think of Srila Prabhupada's example.
Поэтому мы можем медитировать на личный пример Шрилы
For me,
Прабхупады.
prayer has always been an important part of book distribution.
Да,
It's an
молитва
important part of everything we do.
важной частью
But when I would distribute books on
всего,
the
что я
street,
делаю. Когда я
I would always be
улице,
praying
я всегда молился
to Krishna
Кришне,
and the Parampara
Рампаре.
to inspire me with the right words
Меня
to move the particular
произнести
customer to do
подходящие
the work.
слова,
And I
соответствующие
would also
человеку.
be praying to the Lord within the heart of the potential customer
Медитировал на
to inspire the person to
сердце
take the book.
человека, чтобы он вдохновил его взять
And
книгу.
another thought that motivated me very early before I did,
Мысль, которая мотивировала меня очень сильно.
well, actually, we hardly had any books back then. We just had
Когда я еще
and
практически
teachers
еще
of
не
Chaitanya,
читал
the
книги.
abridged Gita. But I would think that these
Была только одна неполная гита в
people
Торе.
are spending their money on something anyway. And it's probably going to be
Я размышлял, эти люди в любом случае потратят свои деньги на какую-то глупость. Лучше, если
spend the money
потратят их
for Krishna.
для Кришны.
These books, just
Да.
the act of giving will help them. So this give to live,
Так, это программа.
yeah, it's our life to
Давать,
give,
чтобы
but it's
наша
also their
жизнь
life
давать.
to give. So
Это также дает им жизнь, когда они дают.
Maharaj, you once told us that before you would go out to do your services of live membership or book distribution,
Делали свое
have
служение.
a ritual that you would chant your rounds in front of the
Ритуал.
deities, a certain
Взяли
number of
свои
rounds
руки,
before you would go anywhere.
как
Do you
выходить.
remember telling us that there was
Помните, вы
something like that? You could say the importance of strong sadhana before
Скажите,
it works for you,
здесь,
how it worked for you in book distribution, obviously worked for you in your whole life, but if any
работал
about
ваш,
that, we'll deeply appreciate.
можете.
that's true.
Да, это
I
правда.
would, I would always chant
Я всегда
minimum 12
минимум
rounds
12
before
кругов
doing
перед тем,
anything.
как сделать еще
I
что-нибудь.
felt that that chanting, and it's
Потому
true,
что
and
успевание,
that
и это
japa
правда.
gave me spiritual strength
Давало
and
мне
clarity
духовную силу и
that
чистоту,
helped me in my
которая
service
помогала мне в
during
моем
the day,
служении в течение
which
дня.
was at that time mainly life membership, which is a type of book distribution. Srila Prabhupada said he introduced the life membership program as a way of placing his books in important people's.
Благодаря этой программе мы смогли
So that's very true.
давать книги Шрилы Прабхупады важным людям.
Experienced that beautifully when I was staying with you
Да.
in Burlingame. It was, you had a very intense morning program, a very blissful morning program. And afterwards, you said that one of the points in your book, now we have the book, our family business, but at that time, it was just an
Я
idea.
был с вами в Берлингеме,
But,
был вдохновлен вашей
that
садой.
one of the points you wanted to make was that our book distribution,
Моментов, которые вы хотели выделить в своей
our
книге,
enthusiasm to
так
distribute
что
books should
энтузиазм в
come from the
распространении книг
overflow of our
приходит
bliss, from
от
our
блаженства,
personal sadhana.
которые мы испытываем в своей садой.
And, so yeah, I would always chant those at least 12 rounds.
Я всегда старался повторять
Because as I mentioned, it gave me
12
strength
слов
and
духовных,
also
служить.
clarity
Также
on
чистота.
how to proceed in the best way.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. And the intensity of the
Спасибо.
morning program here in Burlingame was only because you were here. It's been all downhill since that.
В Берлингеме была
moment you left.
интенсивная только благодаря
Hare Krishna.
мне очень
Hare
понравилось.
Maharaj, could you just say one prayer for the success of our achieving the goal of
Произнести молитву
distributing worldwide at least 2 million Bhagavad Gitas? If it comes from your lips, that the
успешно
Lord will hear it.
выполнять
That's my
нашу цель 2
connection,
миллиона.
I would say.
Do you want me to make an
Yeah, if you
audible
Yeah,
prayer?
if you could make a pronouncement.
Пожалуйста, произнесите молитву.
Well, I start with Srila Prabhupada. I always start with Srila Prabhupada. My dear Srila Prabhupada, my dear
Дорогой Шрила Прабхупада,
Parampara, my dear
дорогие Гуру
Shri
Парампара,
Gornitai, my
дорогие
dear
Горнитари,
Shri Gandharvika Giridhari.
Гирирадж
Please bless the devotees in
для
their
них,
efforts
в их
to
усилиях,
distribute at least
по крайней мере, 2
Bhagavad
миллиона
Gitas during
молитв
this marathon.
в течение этого марафона.
Inspire them and
Молитвы,
empower them to
полномочия
reach this goal
достичь этой
for
цели
your pleasure
для вашего
and for
удовольствия,
the benefit and redemption of the fallen condition.
для блага всех обусловленных падших
Hare
душ.
Krishna.
Харе Кришна.
Thank you very much.
Огромное
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Giriraj Maharaj.
Pleasure. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, if you have a couple more minutes, we want to show you the updated maps of the world and what it looks like. Would you like
Карты,
to glance at it, please? If you don't
Sure.
mind?
вы взглянули на них.
So here's the world map, 170 communities, 35 plus countries. Pledges now are for 2,379,796. You can see in South America with Brazil at 1,000, Argentina
Америка, вот,
1,700,
Бразилия,
Chile,
Аргентина, Чили,
Peru,
888 Бхагавад-гит, Перу,
1,800, Panama 720, Trinidad,
1600,
and
Панама,
Tobago 108. And
Тобаго,
we have Mexico 3,000. Well, that's a funny number. 3,800.
38 тысяч походу.
Whatever that number is, it's something.
Let's go to 38,000.
Okay, well, it's not less than 1 and it's more than 0. I know that. I don't know if it's 38,000. Okay, so anyway, you can have a look at it. You see Pakistan there at 13,500.
Пакистан,
Below
13
Croatia, Lithuania, Russia.
Yeah, I see that.
Хорватия, Литва,
So anyway,
Чехия,
there's a look at that. Do we have the other maps we can show?
Бельгия.
Japan 501. India is, as we mentioned before, pandemic-like.
В Индии большая пандемия распространения книг.
We see
Штаты.
some open spaces means opportunities.
Еще есть открытое пространство.
Here's Europe, isolated view.
Европа.
Bhaktivedanta Manor doing the biggest in Gitas they've ever done. Up there at 35,000.
Бхактивиданта.
The leaders in book distribution in the world, 5,000.
Уэльс,
Leicester, 5,000.
Лестер, 5000.
And isolated South America.
Южная Америка. Что
Don't
Бразилия.
you love looking at these maps? I mean, it's just by seeing it.
Нет,
It's quite inspiring.
It is. Middle East Deshas. Nice.
Yes, yes. The
Рост.
Middle East nations have been very active, especially in exporting books, because many of the places there are not able legally to distribute books in the countries in which they reside. But everyone from whatever vantage point or from whatever method is engaging. I mean, everyone that's on the map. As I said, there's still open spaces we see up there in
На карте взяли какие-то обещания. Есть
more room.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Anukul, for showing the maps.
Большое.
And also, we'd like to, in the last couple of minutes, get a report. What's working from Malini and SKP? They have their finger on the pulse. North America, where a lot of innovations are taking place. Could you give us a brief report, Malini and SKP, please?
Малини из Силиконовой долины. Что-то дало.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So we are going like this year, last part of the marathon. So we are having the innovation of going not just because the shelter in place in California. So we gave up the book packs and then hanging to the doors like Shastradan book packs, and that is going very well. And we are going to fire stations.
Пакеты с книгами.
And there are 24/7 open.
Соседей. Каждый
And then keeping
приносит своим соседям пакеты с книгами.
They're really appreciating that we are doing this seva for the community. And also we are calling the real estate agents and
Также обзваниваем
and also the local tax consultants, local lawyers, doctors, like all these small business owners. They want to give to their clients. And
чтобы они
Mataji designed a small sticker, so maybe
своим
like to show them.
клиентам наклеиваем
The sticker says that okay, we are the owner of this real estate company, so and we'll keep a sticker on each Bhagavad Gita, and then people they can give it to their clients and
своим названием компании с именем
business, and our books will distribute. And they are donating thousands of dollars for the marathon.
$1000 распространение короткий отчет.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu.
Sticker.
Malini Devi Dasi telling a little more about these gift packs that have been so successful with great responses.
Подарочные пакеты,
Prabhu, Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisance, Sarveshwar Prabhupada. Prabhu, I just wanted to show. I just want to show some pictures because most of it is already by Shri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu.
Кришна Пурушоттам почти все сказал.
So So this is the week update. I just want to share that the picture on the left, devotees are going out in Walmart. So one person actually took 16 of these Trimurti sets, and he said he wants to distribute to his friends and family. On the one on the right,
комплектов.
actually gave one book to this person, and he said that he read Bhagavad Gita before, and he wants to join the book distribution party next week. And meanwhile, he just took one case of Bhagavad Gita. He said he will distribute the Bhagavad Gita case before the next week. This was one. And as Vaisheshika Prabhu was mentioning, we baked 10,000 cookies. And we made them into packs like this.
И мы их кладем в комплект Бхагавад Гиты. Также благодарственное письмо, 2 кусочка печенья. Мы продаем всем соседям.
Put these packs on the doors. And this is what we are doing. Because of the pandemic, we just wanted to be careful. So we are just putting it on the doorknobs of people. Like this. And as soon as we put it on the door, people are running outside because they thought they got a package and they are thanking us like anything. So this has been such a
как только нас видят, сразу же приходят и благодарят нас. Очень важно.
Somebody wrote, they said, thank you for the books and cookies. During this time of COVID and uncertainties, I will definitely take the time to read this book. Much appreciated. So they're leaving notes back to the devotees' door.
Очень благодарственные письма за эти подарки. Вчера время аукциона, дети тоже решили 2 недели, пока у них каникулы. Сдали список разных риэлторов, юридических докторов, гомеопатических докторов. Они собираются обзванивать их в течение следующих 2 недель, пока у них каникулы.
Yes, thank you very much. Go ahead, SKP.
No, yesterday my neighbor came to me and gave me a big cookies with like a gift pack, and I asked why. He said, you gave me the books, you know, so I want to reciprocate by giving this. This is really like a fire, Prabhu, like a lot of people liking that we are doing it.
Пришел ко мне и дал мне печенье, сказал, удивительно, что ты подарил мне книгу, печенье, я хочу
and they have these pickups, you know, just the like curbside pickups. So I just go and stand there, and we are coming to that place, and we are giving the books to the curbside pickup people. So this is, and they are donating for our cause. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Packaging is very important. Put a little more into the packaging.
Подъезжают к нам, предлагаем им книги, потому что им делают жертвы.
But when they say there's cookies, they become noticeably enlivened. Living entities like prasadam.
Людям очень нравятся вот эти упаковочки. Книга и печенье.
The mantra has emerged. If you're at home, use your phone. You can run an airline off of a smartphone.
Также напоминаю, что с помощью смартфона можно целая авиакомпания управлять. Когда вы дома пользуетесь смартфоном, обзваниваете людей, предлагаете. Фон был изобретен только для того, чтобы распространять книжки.
And then letting people share back from their hearts. It's the sweetest thing on the planet. There's nothing better. Everything else is very caustic and troublesome and complex. But book distribution is so simple, sublime, and loving. And really, blessing we got from Ghiriraj Swami Maharaj to hit our goal it has gone to the Lord's ears. And so now all we have to do is just do our best. Don't worry, take it small, it doesn't matter. Somebody told me the other day, if you think it's small doesn't matter, then you haven't spent the night in a room with a mosquito. So do your small part, something more than less than one. And you'll notice that your life will change because this is the highest sadhana. A couple of late-breaking reports are coming in from the Middle East. Their goal was 20,000 Bhagavad Gitas, but they've already done 40,000. And they're aiming for more now.
На Ближнем Востоке они уже распространили 40 тысяч Бхагавад-гит, хотя обещали 20.
Mexico, the actual number from Mexico City was 3,852. I'm just reading the ticker tape as it's coming in off the wire here from the updates, just for your consideration, everybody. Although the ticker tape is moving slow right now. Those
Мексике 1800 книг.
Middle East, 35,000, Mexico, 3,850. Okay. We thank His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj for joining us.
Благодарим его всячески, Локанатха, его милостиво, Прабху.
His Holiness Maharaj,
Гирирадж Свами
and
большое спасибо Гирирадж, Прабху.
presenters, Nandini
Тема
Kishore and SKP
его презентации.
and Malini and all
Кришна
of you
Кришна,
today who have joined from various places around the world. It's very touching. You've taken
Все, кто
your
присоединился к нам
time to
сегодня,
come and lean into this. Let's go for it. And after the 7th,
двигаться
we'll count
дальше.
up everything, but the
До
thing that
седьмого
will
мы все
count the most
прочитаем.
is the technologies we've discovered during this big push, during the pandemic, that will open up a bigger pipeline for all of us.
Технологии, которые мы
As a
обнаружили,
benefit we're getting out of this whole thing is that we're developing a
возможность
global
продолжать это
team.
движение.
We're all working
Можем
together.
работать как
And
всемирная
doing
команда.
this, we'll be able
Делая
to
это, мы сможем
increase book distribution
увеличить
by
распространение
multiples going into
много раз.
2021 and shock the world
Так мы
with the
растрясем мир
number of books that are flooding the world. Let's do that together. Everyone who agrees with this sentiment or the exact precise meaning of this vision, please unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram.
Vancha kalpataruscha
Guravacha, Patitanam
Pavaneshya.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hare Bol.